So today we're going to talk about the important difference between fantasizing, aka dissociating, and actually manifesting a new reality for yourself. I know for a lot of people, when we first get into manifestation and when we learn about the different techniques of manifestation, it's really easy to confuse the techniques as just sounding like, oh, so all I have to do is just fantasize. All I have to do is just imagine something in my head and then it happens. But true manifestation, true reality shifting is a little bit deeper than just fantasizing about something. Why is it deeper than just fantasizing? Because to really change your reality, you have to really deeply accept that you're already in that new reality. And often when it comes to things like fantasizing or using fantasizing as a means of escaping and dissociating, obviously you're not really accepting that that fantasy is your new reality because you're using it to escape your reality. Your genuine state is, I don't like my reality. I feel uncomfortable in my own body. I feel uncomfortable in my own just day-to-day life. And oh my God, it feels so good to just escape into this fantasy where I have tons of money, I've got a super hot body, I've got the love of my life. Oh my God, it just gives me some relief to finally escape my current reality and go into this like other fantasy dissociative reality. So today we're really going to clear this up for you so that moving forward, you can have really good awareness of your own consciousness in terms of knowing, okay, am I really accepting my new reality right now? Or am I just trying to escape reality and go into a fantasy? You'll get some clarity on the difference, and therefore you'll be able to catch yourself in the future so that you don't get yourself stuck in the old state because you don't even realize that you fantasizing about your specific person or fantasizing about having $1 million. You didn't realize before that maybe that wasn't actually helping you. It might have been keeping you in the old state. So we're going to break it all down because you can have that $1 million. You can have that hot body. You can have your specific person, but you've got to hold yourself accountable and make sure that you are doing it in the right way and not just like giving yourself a free pass to go into fantasy and then call it manifesting. Because I've been doing this a long time and I know what manifests and what doesn't. So we're gonna get into it. And just quickly before we get deeper into this, I'll introduce myself. My name is Genevieve. I'm a manifestation coach. I'm here to help you do manifestation in a way that is truly psychologically healthy and actually gets you results, because newsflash, manifestation should feel psychologically healthy. If you're doing anything and calling it manifestation, but you can tell it's like hurting your mental health or it's hurting you psychologically, you're not doing the right thing. You're not actually manifesting and you're not psychologically helping yourself. So I hope this makes sense, that I'm here to help you get manifestation results, and when you're doing that, it should feel psychologically healthy to you. Those two things are aligned. Manifestation, healthy psychological state, those two are together. So another sign that you might not be in the right state is if your psychological health is really suffering, then there's some things to adjust around that, but we might not get into that in this video, although we will a little bit. But I have lots of videos on dealing with your emotions, how to accept your emotions, how to accept yourself as you manifest. So welcome to this channel if you are new here, and there's lots of videos to go through to help you with your psychological health and the manifestation process. Okay, so if you want to work with me, there are lots of ways that you can do that. I have a few courses that are available that you can just go down in the description below, just click on the link and you can start those now, or you can do a session with me, or you can join the membership portion of this program. There's different tiers of membership that you can join. So all the links to everything are down below. But let's now talk a little bit more about this difference between fantasy, dissociation, and manifestation. So as I said earlier, we humans often use things like fantasizing, dissociating. We use those as a coping strategy when we're really not doing well in our current reality, or if we're really feeling unsupported in our current reality. I have made another video on limerence. I will link that here, but I'm mentioning this because when we go into limerence or over fantasizing, like kind of overly thinking about someone, it typically is a person, but overly thinking about them as if they are the answer to our pain, that is so often a sign that you're feeling really emotionally unsupported or really alone in your life. There's like, you're just missing that emotional intimacy in your life. And so going into fantasy or limerence is a great way to try to give yourself that emotional connection that you really don't feel you have in your 3D life. Manifestation, on the other hand, is extremely intentional. Often fantasizing or dissociating, it tends to just sort of happen to you. Like you tend to just be kind of going about your day and you sometimes don't even notice. It's like you just check out and then all of a sudden you're in this fantasy of you and your specific person doing stuff or whatever it is. It's like your brain just sort of naturally goes there. And that is not intentional. Again, that's just sort of like a very unintentional subconscious, like I'm just going to escape, I'm going to go into this. And manifestation is very intentional. When we are doing any manifestation technique, and that could be any of them, that could be affirming, that could be doing an imaginal act, a visualization, that could be doing a meditation. Anytime we're doing a manifestation technique, we're very intentionally stepping into it and telling our subconscious that this is who I really am. This is what I'm really receiving now. We're not going into an imaginal act in this kind of unintentional way where it's like, oh, well, I don't have anything good in my life right now, so I'll just kind of like go randomly think about my person or whatever. We're not doing that. We are rewiring your subconscious to really accept that this is what is mine to claim now. It's not in the future somewhere. It's not in the past somewhere. I'm not reaching for it, hoping that it'll happen sometime eventually. I am saying to myself that now I accept that this is my reality, and therefore I don't need to escape reality by going into a fantasy. I am practicing normalizing my manifestation. When I go into the technique, I'm normalizing that this is already my life. And this is the part that I get can confuse you, because a lot of you feel that dissonance. You feel that dissonance of like, okay, Genevieve, I get it. Like I can imagine it and then decide in a very intentional way that this is my life. But then, I open my eyes and I look at the 3D and you know what? I'm still alone, or I still have no money in my bank account or whatever. And I can't handle the dissonance there. Well, this brings us to another key aspect of manifesting, because a lot of people, like I said, they can't handle the dissonance. They can't handle the noticing of, okay, well, I claimed it, but it's still not in my reality, so I'm just going to keep getting lost in fantasy about it because it's still not in my reality. A key part of manifesting is that you do your technique to claim it, and then you have to stay very present in your day-to-day, real-world 3D life. You're staying present and accepting of whatever the current 3D circumstances are. The goal is that when you've really claimed your new reality, you naturally can become not so threatened by 3D circumstances, and you learn to be able to see the 3D circumstance of like, okay, I still haven't got the money in my bank account, but I just know that it's going to work out. I just know that it is. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I just know that this is all working in my favor. And this piece of it does take a lot of mental strength, fortitude. This is what persistence is. But I'm bringing this up as a part of this video because I think a lot of people think that, okay, they'll do the intentional technique. Well, they'll do, an official meditation where they go into the wish fulfilled and they do an imaginal act. But then they come out of the meditation, and because they don't see it in the 3D physical reality yet, they still can't handle the 3D. They still can't really accept that it's not here yet. So what do? They go off into fantasizing about the manifestation. When you are not accepting and you feel like you can't handle your current 3D circumstances, you are more likely to kind of check out from the 3D and just go live in dissociative fantasy land. And what will help you is to just practice being non-threatened, to know like, it's okay, whatever the current 3D is doing, I know that whatever it's doing, it is still working in my favor. Even if I, like I said, open my bank account, still see there's no money in there, I have already claimed who I am. I have already claimed that I'm a wealthy person, and I just know that it is eventually going to work out. That's a key difference. It's like your deeper energy is starting to be channeled into the claiming of your new identity. This is why I'm saying this doesn't happen just in like fantasy dissociation. Because in a fantasy or dissociative state, you're not changing your identity. You're not claiming a new reality for yourself. As I said, you're just trying to escape reality because you don't like it. You feel like you can't handle it. You're still the old you that can't just be present and integrate in, okay, I know what I've chosen, I know what I've claimed, and I know it's working for me. Now I'm just gonna be present in my life, face things as they come up, take inspired action in the ways that I might need to as it comes up, and know that everything is working in my favor. I'm not gonna escape all this because I feel like I can't handle it and go into fantasy. So going forward, I really want you to practice being honest with yourself about how often are you kind of checking out of your present life throughout the day? How often are you maybe using the idea of your SP as an escape from your current reality? I know that that is a triggering question to ask, but again, if you're able to be really self-honest and see within yourself, like, okay, if I'm like checking out to think about my SP all day, that must mean that I don't actually feel good in my life. It could also be creating kind of a staticky energy between you and your specific person, if you have one and you're manifesting one, because if you are using them as, again, like a fantasy object or a limerent object, that's a sign that your genuine relationship to them is not secure and healthy. Remember that manifesting, especially manifesting relationships, is all about stepping into a different energy dynamic with that person. And if you continue to send an energy to that person that says, you're like my savior, and I don't feel good in my life right now, and I think maybe I'll feel good once you give me attention, but right now you're not giving me attention, so I'm just gonna check out from my life because I really don't like it, and I'm gonna just think about you. That's not a state of being that is embodying an energy of, I feel a very secure, equal love and understanding with this person. The bottom line here is I want you to embody how powerful you are and how powerful your energy and true intention and true claiming about yourself. Really embody how powerful that is. Because if you're being quite passive about your life still, where you don't really trust manifesting, you kind of dibble and dabble in techniques here and there, you really want your SP or you really want your thing, but you don't really trust this, you're not really claiming that it's yours, but it just feels good to kind of fantasize about those things. If you're in this kind of like lukewarm, I don't really know what's going on kind of state of being, if you aren't really claiming your power and really letting it sink in deeper, this is who I am, this is what is happening for me, then you're not really manifesting. And I get that can be scary to claim something so deeply, especially something that maybe you've struggled with a lot in the past and you felt like, oh, but it's never worked out for me in the past, and oh my gosh, I really don't know if it ever would in the future, and I feel like I might get disappointed if I like really claim it, then it doesn't happen, I'll be disappointed. I get it. Those are very common egoic thoughts, but you have to put those thoughts to the back seat of the bus. They're not driving the bus anymore, and you have to continue to claim in a deeper way, this is who I am, this is what's happening for me, even if I don't see it in the 3D right away, I'm not going to back down from channeling my energy deeper and deeper and knowing that this is who I am. It's not a fantasy idea that I dissociate from reality because I can't handle my life. It's not that. It is that I am claiming this on a deep level. And it's okay to be a little scared. As I just said, you can send your fear and all the thoughts fear has to the back of the bus. It's okay that fear's here a little bit, but you just can't let that fear and that lack of trust and that lack of claiming be the dominant thing that drives your bus, that drives your state of being, because that will leave you even more susceptible to this sort of like, well, I'm just going to dissociate in fantasy. You know that dissociating into fantasy doesn't work because I'm sure you've done it a lot throughout your life, and a lot of the things that you used to fantasize about did not manifest. Why didn't they manifest? Because they weren't really representative of your genuine state of being. Those old fantasies weren't really representative of like how you really thought about yourself. As I said, you were just using those fantasies to temporarily escape reality because you couldn't cope and that was your coping mechanism in that moment. But that fantasy wasn't really real for you. It was just a tool that you needed to use just to get through your day at that time. Now you're being braver. Now you're going deeper and you're saying, I can handle my day, even if my current circumstances kind of suck. It's kind of confusing. There's weird stuff going on. I am not going to let these circumstances overpower me, make me feel like I can't handle this, make me feel like I need to escape myself. I'm just going to accept them, know that they're not a big deal, and continue to claim no matter what happens out here. I know who I am, I know what's happening for me, and I'm going to claim it over and over and over and over again until it manifests. So I hope you can really see the difference now between just having a dissociative fantasy or going into limerence about a particular person you're obsessed with, how that is really, really different than manifesting. Manifesting is a deeper shift. It's a real claiming of like, this is what I have. I have this relationship. I have it now. And I don't care if the circumstances look crazy. I'm not giving my energy to those things anymore. I'm claiming that now I have this. And I'm going to treat myself all day like it's already here. It's already real. It's already secure. So therefore, why would I fantasize about it when I already have it? You also know that you tend not to fantasize about things that are already real to you. Like I know in my own life, the things that I've already got, I no longer fantasize about anymore. And I laugh because I definitely used to fantasize about being a YouTuber. And it's funny because now that I very much am a YouTuber, I freaking never fantasize about this because it is my job now and it's like not even interesting to me. But I used to fantasize about it, and for a long time nothing really changed around that until I shifted my state to, you know what, this isn't just a fantasy I use anymore to escape how much I want to quit my job. Now this is something that I'm really doing. And obviously when it comes to being something like a YouTuber, there's obviously some inspired action needed on your part. Actually, I'll say for pretty much all manifestations, there's going to be some inspired action on your part, but that's very, very different for everyone. And that's also a whole different video. So don't even overthink that. Inspired action should come very intuitively. It's not something that you overthink. If you're overthinking an action, then it's probably not inspired. But again, even that's nuanced, different video. So thank you for being here with me today. I know this helped you a lot. Let me know your thoughts and questions down in the comments below. I really don't want you guys to keep getting stuck in this loop where you think you're manifesting, but really all you're doing all day is dissociating and not really claiming what you're manifesting. So we gotta go deeper. So let's do that. Let me know your thoughts and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye.